Why don't I use NyQuil, Dayquil, or Tylenol if I get sick? My thought is that the symptoms of acute illness, headache, chills, fever, mucus, even cough, are all my body working in its wisdom to clear an infection. Now, these are uncomfortable symptoms, but they're not random. They're my body rebelling against me, trying to keep me from enjoying life. My body is taking the most precise, infinitely complex actions to make sure I survive this viral or bacterial illness, that I get over it. If I were to consume one of these drugs as a way to reduce my discomfort, I would be short-circuiting my body's intelligence. This is my thought. And in so doing, potentially setting myself up for more immune challenges later on in life. So when I suppress symptoms, I'm often suppressing the very mechanism my body is using to literally heal itself. We get a runny nose because our body is working feverishly to trap and flush out viral or bacterial pathogens. The mucus is there to moisten the respiratory tract, the nasal passages, to reduce the potential for damage from this illness, from these pathogens. And we don't want to shut this process down because we're shutting down the efficiency of clearing an infection, a fever. It's necessary to slow down viral and bacterial replication and enhance the activity of immune cells like neutrophils and lymphocytes. And who doesn't want to get over an illness as fast as possible? A fever, it also acts to protect healthy cells by activating and increasing the number of heat shock proteins. So heat shock proteins, those act as like cell bodyguards. If we suppress fevers, we're essentially creating opportunity for more healthy cells and organs to get damaged during acute illness. Nobody wants that. So one of the great benefits of sauna therapy is the increase in heat shock proteins. But here we are under pathogenic duress, and we're telling the body, stop guarding our good cells. Don't identify the invaders really, really fast so we can clear this infection and move on with life. We'd rather just hang out in the illness. We'd rather just have the virus do its thing, figure out what it wants to do, see if we're a good place to set up shop for a good host. No, we want to clear this sucker out. Fever helps us. How about cough? Nobody likes to cough. I don't want to cough. Who wants to cough? But a cough, aggressive, quickly, it's a way of us clearing mucus production that's trapped viruses, that's trapped bacteria, that's trapped dead immune cells. We got to cough it out. Our lungs have this built-in reflex to clear it so that airways don't get blocked and we don't end up with a secondary infection, pneumonia, requiring higher level interventions, requiring the ER visit, requiring the hospitalization. So I am so convinced that if these drugs were no longer available and people could only use supportive measures, the number of secondary infections, the number of chronic sinus infections, the number of allergenic issues, the number of repetitive ear infections would drop astronomically. And I would also note, beyond the fact that illnesses are not cleared as quickly using suppressive measures, we're actually more likely to spread illness to unsuspecting friends, family, coworkers when we go the suppression route. So these medications, they can wreak havoc even on our liver. You're sick, probably dehydrated, probably undernourished because you have the illness. And now here we are, we're going to consume drug agents that are extremely taxing on the liver and drive down glutathione levels, the body's most powerful antioxidant that is supposed to help us resolve the inflammatory cascade and get back to homeostasis. But here we are, suppressing. Now, I'm not taking NyQuil to knock me out at night, because even though it will make me drowsy, it decreases the proportion of time my body will be in the restorative deep sleep and the REM sleep. Sure, I could maybe sleep longer, maybe wake up less, but I would not actually be getting the benefits of sleep. We want to sleep and gain the benefits of sleep, right? So I'm well aware that most people get sick and they start popping symptom reliever suppressor drugs. But as is true all over the health and medical landscape, just because it is common does not mean it is ideal or something I personally want to participate in. So do Dayquil, NyQuil, Tylenol have any antiviral, any immune boosting properties to them? No, they do not. Zero, zilch. They do not help my body fend off viral attacks or enhance the activity of my immune system in any way, shape, or form. Isn't that wild to consider? Since so many people will say they're treating their illness with such drugs. It would be much more accurate to say, I'm suppressing my body's innate intelligence to help me clear this virus with these drugs. All right, let me know your tried and true routines to overcome illness, acute illness, respiratory infections, allergies, you name it, that help you move on with life. I would love to hear about it. And be sure to send this to your friends, your family members, your coworkers who may not realize what they think is treatment is actually suppression and could very well be setting them up for longer viral illness or even potentially autoimmune-like activity later on, just more general health challenges down the road. All right, have a great week.